Hi everybody, Martin at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm here with a wee video on sizing hackles. It was Crispin on Patreon requested this video, so I thought I'd put one together. I'm going to tell you how to check the size of your hackle first, and then we'll look at how to decide how long you want your hackle. So now, depending on whether you're tying wet flies or dry flies, or if it's river wets, if you're tying still water dry flies are different from river dry flies, but the principle of how to size the hackle or how to check the size is the same, right? Now, you'll eventually get that you can just sort of look at a hackle and know it's probably the size, but right, I've got a bare hook here. It's a size 12, it's a full and mill all-purpose medium weight. I've got a saddle hackle, it's just a whiting grizzly. Now, I've just folded that hackle around the hook, right? The hackle barbs are coming to about there. So I've got, say, a hook gap and a half a hackle length, which isn't bad, right? For a lot of applications, this hackle would fit this hook, right? Now, if you were tying a wet fly and you were using a game bird feather like this is a mallard, the hen mallard body, flank feather, right? Now, these hackles are kind of short and stubby, and they don't lend themselves to being wound or folded over the hook that well. So what I would do is if I was not sure, I would sort of check, just sort of draw the fibres out 90 degrees from the stem of the feather, and then you can hold it with a tie-in point. So if this is going to be, you would imagine this would be a shoulder hackle on a wet fly. The dubbing needle is marking just behind the eye where the hackle stem is on. Then you can see the length of the fibres are way out here. So it's too big, right? I mean, maybe there would be an application, but most of the time you would say this hackle's too big for this hook, right? The other thing you can use for sort of the chicken hackles is one of these hackle gauge. They've got a wee pin and a series of arcs, numbered arcs for the corresponding hook sizes. So you just do exactly the same as you would with the hook, and you fold it around and you see where the size is, and this is reading this as a 14. That's the same hackle as this, and it's sort of in between. Now, the thing I would say is the only problem with these is they don't really take into account different hook models, right? So this is a wet fly hook, really. It's a full and mill all-purpose medium. Maybe the gape on this, I'll just see. The gape on this is It's more like they're 14, right? So these are the hooks on the hook sizes used by this are sized bigger than the full and mill all-purpose medium weight, and that's the downfall of these, right? If you have one that matches your hook manufacturer, right? If you're using like the standard dry fly, like the TMCO 100, that kind of thing, they're probably fairly good. But when you start using different models, obviously there can be discrepancies. So that's how to check the size. Now you need to think about how long do you want it. I'm going to show you two size 14 dry flies here. I've got a, what's this, March Brown Wolf, and a yellow humpy, right? They're both size 14s, but the Wolf is a slightly longer hackle. But they both look alright. They're both correctly proportioned flies, right? So the humpy's a wee suggestive thing here, right? And it's, how would you say, it's got a shorter tail, more compact body, shorter hackle. So I'm looking for a different shape when I tie a humpy than I'm looking for when I tie this March Brown Wolf. So the hackle length here is 1.5 hook gaps. On the humpy, it's a bit less. Maybe, I don't know, 1.25, right? And that's fine. I've chosen to do that. These hackles are sized deliberately in that way. You've always got a bit of flexibility, right? You can decide. You don't, if you like the way a fly fishes with a certain length of hackle, tie it like that, right? If you like to tie a blue winged olive imitation with a hackle that's one size too big, right? But it's a high quality hackle and you use only a couple of turns, it gives you a nice sparse appearance, which is probably a better imitation of the natural, then do that, right? Do what you like. And here's a super pupa, and I've turned it on its side so you can get a look at it, because the hackle is a trimmed top and bottom. But look, very, very long, right? Super pupa, great dry fly emerger, right? The hackle's too long, right? It's out of proportion. Oh no. But it catches fish like crazy, and you want the hackle long like this to support the fly. It's two hook gapes at least here, right? Again, probably they move a bit better. They look a bit more like a real insect instead of a short mass of dense hackle. Now, dry fly, we've got this is a Dart Watchet long hackle, right? This is a good 2 hook gapes, this one, but when the soft, you know, it's not a chicken hackle is what I'm saying. It's not I would check the fibres lengthwise. This is jackdaw scalp, so before I would pull it from the scalp, I would have a wee look, much as I did with this, just hold the feather against it and check the length. Now, if I flatten them with my thumbnail, the dubbing needle is at the back of the hook, and I've just moved it back here, and that's where the hackle tips are coming to. Right, so as I say, a couple of hook gaps. It's the length of the hook may be slightly longer for this, right? A wee wet hopper, still water wet fly, or dry fly. This fish is wet or dry actually. Got a sort of wee gingery cock hackle, and then a couple of tons of brown partridge in front. The brown partridge comes back to just the back of the hook, and it's a bit longer than the ginger hackle. The ginger hackle's still in that 1.5, 1.25, right? If this was only going to be fish wet, I'd probably have a longer hen hackle and the partridge, but this sort of wet dry version, the wee bit shorter hackle gives you that wee stiffness to support it. And then you come on to like the sort of bigger palmered wet flies, things like this. This is a size 8. Right, and it's a Loch Arrow mayfly variant, right, Irish style wet fly. Now I've used a Chinese neck for the body hackle, and if I go like that with my dubbing needle, I'll sort of show you the angle, the length. So it's at the back of the hook, it's 1.25, 1.5 hook gaps. At the front, the shoulder, you're probably 1.5 to 1 3/4, right? Again, the shoulder hackle, it's a French partridge, it's a soft hackle, and we've got a hook shank, a hook at least, maybe a 1.5 hook, and then a slightly shorter hen hackle at the front, right? The hen hackle's about the length of the front of the body hackle. So it depends on the style, depends on the type of fly you're tying, but you've got flexibility, right? You're tying something, here's an orange rory, sort of Loch Lordy inspired pattern. This is like, if I stand these up, it's like a wee cone, and the front hackles are a good 2 gaps, and this is about 1.25 at the back. It's progressively longer, soft hen hackle, loads of movement. You're looking for different things, but the way of checking the size is the same, right? Either with the stem to check the length if it's a big game bird hackle or something, or just wrap it around the hook. That's the best way, I think, because it's sized for the hook in your vise, not whatever hook they've used for this, right? So I hope that was useful. If it was, please subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, like the video, etc. Tight lines, guys. Bye.